Hey everyone, my name is Sok. I am a Masters player, and I'm here with my girlfriend Shu, who is now a Goat player.
Hey guys.
I've been gone for a little while since I've been pretty sick over the last week or so, but I'm finally back, so we're doing another review of her game, which is now in Gold 4. She made it to Gold 4 before she left for the break, which is very exciting.
Yeah, it's been cool trying to challenge myself in this new level.
Yeah. So, I have not seen this game yet. I saw a little bit at the very end. But I have not seen most of it yet, so let's see how it goes. It looks like we have a Savika encounter. So I think you and I talked about this a little bit. When you see Savika, she drops like something random every single stage. And a lot of what she drops are like pans and spatulas. I wouldn't say a lot, but she does drop pans and spatulas. Which means when you get augments, you want to look for stuff that are emblems. Because if you get emblems and she does drop a pan, you can have two of the same emblems almost immediately, and that's very, very strong. Okay?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, so generally when I see her, I try to go for emblems as much as I can. So you're doing well here by putting in the double trundle. We talked about this a little bit. So if you have to sell the board, at least you still have a pair of trundles, which can turn into a trundle 2. So you have Ezreal. So the first thing that I would be thinking about if I see a Ezreal is, can I go Academy?
Yeah.
You know? So here you could have sold the board for 10 gold. I actually would not have. Oh, what the? That was an interesting choice.
Yeah, I mean, retrospect probably shouldn't have done that, but
Yeah, Trundle is much stronger. What was there a reason for why you sold the
Uh,
Trundle too?
it was just kind of a gut instinct thing. Could have definitely just put him on my board. I think I just saw three rebel and wanted to put that in.
Yeah, I mean, you could have immediately got, what's it called, scrap, and you could have scrapped the sword on him, which is very, very strong, you know?
That's true.
Yeah.
Just didn't cross my mind.
Yeah, generally, if you get a 2-star, you want to kind of stick with it. Let's talk through these. Excuse me. Talk to me about your thoughts here.
So at this point, I mean, first thing I see is the center one, and I'm not thinking of going Firelight, so I choose to roll that one. I believe I do end up just rolling all of these, and I think at this point I don't have much of a direction that I'm going, so I kind of just want to see what I get.
So, first of all, aerial warfare fits really well with your items, right?
That's true.
You have a bow, which can be a Last Whisper, or Ginsu, which is like Zeri's best item. You have a sword, which again could be an Infinity Edge, or it could be like a Hextech Gunblade. So I would have been very inclined to take aerial warfare just because of how well your items fit with Zeri.
That makes sense.
You know, Inspiring Epoch, it's just a general good augment. High Voltage would have been good here as well because you look like you're going kind of Rebel, and Rebel is AP heavy, I would say, until you get Jinx, right? You have Zoe as your main carry. You have some like smaller AP carries. That would have been okay. I probably would have leaned towards aerial warfare and rolled the other two. Let's see what you do here. Pandora's, I think your items are fine. I probably wouldn't pick Pandora. Support Cache is interesting. Trace Sector is not the best. I probably would have picked Support Cache as well. And yeah, I think Moonstone is pretty good. But here's the thing, right? So one thing that you want to do at first augment is think about what gives me direction. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If you pick aerial warfare, you know you're playing Zeri, which means you would have good direction in terms of where you want to go. So that's one thing you can consider. If you're at higher levels, you might see what other people are picking. Maybe someone else picks like a Firelight emblem or something like that, and then maybe you say, oh, I don't want to go Zeri. But if you're just playing gold right now, I would just look at which one gives me more direction and like play to that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Moonstone is good. It grants shield every 4 seconds.
So I initially put it on a front person, mostly because I just see that it gave shield, so that was just where my mind went.
Okay.
And down the line, I do move Moonstone to the back because, I mean, the fact that it gives a little extra health shield, you know, to people who have lower health at the moment means you want to stay in the game as long as possible.
Yeah. So here you definitely have enough to make 10. And you know that you're going Rebel, so you can probably sell like half of your board right now.
Yeah.
Let's see if you do it. So I would definitely... Oh, well, okay. So you either want to level at the beginning of the round, or you don't want to level at all. Does that make sense?
That's true.
Because the whole point of leveling at the beginning of the round is you can put in the rel for that fight that we just had. Right?
Yeah.
The reason why you want to level at the end of the round, or the reason why you want to keep the gold at the end of the round, is so you can make 10.
Yeah.
Right?
I think because I think I'd sell Ezreal at this point just because I figure I'm gonna run into more of him later.
I mean,
So.
yeah. I would have checked the academy at least, right? Because you have a Leona in shop, which would have been amazing. Right?
Yeah.
You could have immediately... Lux is the only one that you're missing, which would have been very easy to find. And academy is extremely strong early game, right? Early game, you have... Everyone has one item, so if you had academy, you basically get 2.
You see, I do it now.
Well, yeah. But yeah, just make sure you check early. And also, I truly value Ezreal early, just because you have one item, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you get academy, you will essentially double the amount of items that you have,
Yeah,
right? And that's really, really strong early game.
that's true.
And Lux is the easiest one to find. You have a 55% chance of finding Lux,
That's true.
right? And you don't need Ezreal now, but what happens when you want to go 5 rebels, right? Because he's actually the hardest rebel to find. You'll find a set pretty easily. You have a 30% chance to find a set,
Yeah.
but you only have a 15% chance to find an Ezreal. So I would have kept the Ezreal. I would have probably taken out the Akali before I taken out the Ezreal. Yeah. And then if you think about it, if you kept the Ezreal in, you took out the Akali, you still have 3 rebel, and then you could have put in the Leona for academy when you level up one more round along with a Lux,
Yeah.
right? And then you would have 3 rebel, 3 academy, and 2 sentinel, and that would have been a very, very strong early game.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So Ezreal is generally one of those units that if I have him like super early, I always hold on to him.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So here, walk me through what you're thinking about getting.
So I'm kind of looking at the units and seeing what I think about them.
Mm-hmm.
I think at this point I primarily have a front thing, so I'm looking. I mean, I have more of a back item. Sorry, so I'm thinking more of some defense, and I just picked the one that had that was the highest cost person.
Okay, sure. I think that's fine.
In this case, it was a Smeech.
Yeah. Oh, well, you got super lucky. You got another Ezreal. You should certainly hold on to him. Okay.
I think I'm kind of figuring out what I want to do at this moment.
Sure.
I actually decided this just to have another trade in there.
I mean, that's fine. But, like, the Ezreal, unless if I really need to make Econ, I feel like he's actually a good unit to have. I would have definitely put him in over the Akali, for example.
Yeah, looking back, that would have been better.
Right? Because you have 4 front line and 1 back line right now.
Yeah, that definitely would have been better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And also, I guess now you know, but if you had Ezreal being the damage dealer, you could have given the Moonstone to Vex, or you
Yeah.
could have stacked them on one backline carry, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So here I probably would have again tried to make 20. It's pretty important.
Yeah, actually, I think I was thinking at that moment, but I just blanked.
Okay. Well, yeah. Oh, did you sell your Leona?
Yes.
Okay. Again, right, if you just held until this Lux, you would have had a very strong board,
That makes sense.
right? If you had Ezreal, Aurelia, Lux, Leona, and Vex, that would have been 3 Rebel, 3 Academy, and 2 Sentinel, you know? Yeah. But I think this is okay, primarily because you have 2 Conqueror in, and by doing this, you can get to 10 Conqueror stacks, which is just 2 free gold,
Yeah.
and 2 free gold is always nice. Although, unfortunately, I don't think you'll hit 10 this round. You'll be at like 7, or maybe even 6. Yeah, looks like 6, a little unfortunate. Oh, are you gonna lose here? It's a little close. Oh, nice. Very
I don't know, I
close.
just bombed him.
Yeah. Oh man, you got super lucky with the Ezreal luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would have a 2-star by now, but I mean, it is what it is at this point.
It's funny, like most of my Rebel games, it takes a while before I find a set.
Yeah, that's true. You're having trouble here as well. But yeah, this looks like a pretty good Rebel game. Although, I feel like nowadays, I personally think Academy is stronger than Rebel. Rebel is just, it's just like a little hard to play, because you kind of need a Jinx for it to do really, really well.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's probably better to play like a 5 Rebel route instead of 7 Rebels.
Yeah.
Because the Rebel units without Jinx is like paper, right?
Yeah.
And again, I mean, I keep on harping on this, but making gold, you were at 37 gold.
I think I didn't want to sell most people because I was close. I'm close to 2 stars.
That's true. I think that's fine because you're close to 40 gold. I mean 50 gold, yeah. So I think this is a... Are you going to slam it? No. Okay.
Well, here I have some issues just making it work. Like, it just wasn't working.
You have to drag it to... So sometimes there's units that floats, okay?
Yeah.
You have to drag it over the spot. You see like the hexagon around it? It's actually kind of under him.
Okay.
So you kind of have to drag it to like under him,
I see.
okay? And the other thing that you should look at is how many people within the lobby is playing AD comps. Like for example, this person is probably going AD, I imagine,
Yeah.
because he has a rune dance for some reason. But if you see a lot of people with AD comps, slamming the double chain is actually really, really good because it's very strong against AD comps.
That
Okay.
makes sense. Yeah.
All right. Talk me through what your thoughts are here.
So at this point, I know, because I have the item that helps give extra shield,
Mm-hmm.
I choose powered shields out of this.
I don't agree with that. I don't think.
Okay.
Mostly because it's like, I guess it's not like the best. I mean, it's fine. It's a okay tanky one. I think it's best if you're playing something like Scrap, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're
I
playing
guess, yeah,
Scrap
that makes sense.
and they have 1,500 shield,
Mm-hmm.
then 10% durability for that entire 100,000, like 1,500 shields, is pretty good.
That makes sense.
All right, but with your team, other than the Moonstone, there's not too much other shielding.
That makes
I guess
sense,
there's some with some of the Sentinels, so it should be okay.
Yeah.
But I personally feel like I probably would have taken something else. Do you at least reroll the other things? Let's see.
Yeah.
Okay. Spirit Link. Okay, yeah, I probably would have taken it actually.
You would have taken what I picked.
Yeah, the Empower Shield. Actually, I probably would have rerolled it personally. But yeah, if you remember, let's look at what it says. It gives 55 to 300 shield. Okay, 300 shield. Like right now, it's probably like giving like 100 shield. 100 shield is like one ability, so I guess you take 10% less damage for one hit. That's basically what that says.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's okay. I personally probably would not have gone for it. Again, yeah, you want to drag it to his shadow. You see how the square that he's on is a little under him. You keep on dragging it to where he is instead of where his shadow is.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the issue with some of the floating champions. Well, don't. Okay. Again, when you level up after, you lose the economy and you don't get the benefit of putting an extra player to be stronger.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So you.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, you win?
No, I didn't do this one.
But see, you got the worst of both worlds, right? You lost econ because you were at 50 and then you went down to 40 and you didn't win there. So it's very important you do that. Oh, what is? Okay, there we go. That's actually not bad. Oh, okay, yeah, that's fine as well. Tier with belt, I guess you just lost, so it's fine now. But if you had won that, I would have probably put the tier and the chain together to just keep on tempoing and becoming stronger.
That makes sense.
You know?
I was kind of figuring out what I wanted to do.
Sure. I mean, also you have a Vi. Vi is just like very strong, right?
Yeah.
So one thing you probably could have done is just bought a Vi and put her in. She doesn't add any extra skills. I mean, she doesn't add any extra traits, but she is very strong. So she will probably be good to put in just by herself for a round. You know? Especially at level 6. She's only like a 5% odd, so she's very, very rare. And having a 4 cost on your board will make your board like a lot stronger, you know? Yeah, but it looks like you won that one. That's good. So here, what are you thinking?
So kind of looking back and forth.
Well, there's one that's extremely obvious.
I mean, the Ezreal.
Yeah. The Ezreal will give you an Ezreal 2 as well as...
Well, someone got him.
Yeah.
I could go, so.
Okay, yeah. I would have definitely went for the Heimer. Heimer is actually would have been my second choice behind the Ezreal.
Makes sense.
The Heimer would have given you like almost Academy. And also you can get blue buff on the Heimer, which is very strong on the Heimer. You know?
Yeah.
But overall, I think this is fine. So yeah, looks like you just need a set for 5 Rebel, like you said. It's hard to find them.
Is a loyal one.
Yeah. Oh, well, good thing you didn't pick the Zeru route, because someone else has that exact augment.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this is also what I was saying about scouting around to see what other people have. Right, here I would have definitely sold the Nocturne. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean that's fine, but like, you have 2 Swains, right? And if you kept the other Swain, you could have had a 3rd Swain for a 2-star Swain. And that would have been a good front line for
Yeah.
at least the rest of the stage for a little while.
There, I finally had that.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess the Swain wasn't really adding anything. Yeah, that's
I think
fine.
he was adding Conqueror, but that's about it.
Yeah. Well, Conqueror, if you don't plan on playing Conqueror, I would only really have it until the 10 cash out. You know? And here I would have just leveled. It would have been 2 gold, 1 gold to make you a lot stronger. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like maybe not a lot stronger, but you could have at least put in like artillerist or something. The whole goal at this point is like, how do I stabilize before I go to level 8, right? Because you're probably going to level 8 soon, so right now your key goal is just to not lose that much HP. Because if you're playing this rebel route, your goal is eventually to get Jinx, and generally getting Jinx means going to level 9. And when you go to level 9, you have to save a lot of gold, and at that point you're probably the weakest person in the lobby, you know? Okay, great. Yeah. Yeah, I probably would have just stuck in a bruiser or something like Nunu, just to be tankier. But yeah, it's fine. It's really just for like 1 or 2 more rounds until you level up to level 8. Right. Oh, there's an Ezreal too. That's great. Oh, and a set too. Oh wow, holy crap, that is so lucky. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's a rebel. Yeah, this is what I was saying about having a free rebel. So you can have 7 rebel right now if you buy the Jinx. What? No. Are you gonna reforge the tier? Okay, please buy the Jinx. Okay. So when you see Jinx, you want to itemize Jinx, okay?
Yeah.
And for Jinx, the 2 most important items for her, I feel, are just like IE, like Infinity Edge, to give her a lot of crit, as well as either blue buff or preferably Shoujin's to allow her to cast as much as possible, okay?
Yeah.
She has 3 spells. The first one just shoots someone in a line. Okay, let's talk about her really quick. She shoots someone in a line and she stuns them. That's kind of hard to position, but if you do it well, you can stun their backline, which is very impactful. Then she throws out these like chumpers that explode around people, and that just does damage, and it's pretty good. But her third spell is called like Death Rocket or something like that.
Yeah.
And it does damage to the entire board and does a ton of damage, right? So the main thing is like, how do you get her to her third spell as quickly as possible? And generally a Shoujin is the best way of getting there, right? So when I have a tier and I have a fist, I'm thinking about how do I turn this into a Shoujin and an Infinity Edge when I have a Jinx and I'm going Rebel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So talk me through what you're thinking here.
So I know that I have a couple of 4 costs that I really want, so I pick Reinforcement.
Okay. I mean, what else though? So if you're playing full Rebel, you have 7 Rebels on the board. Climb the ladder is pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Because whenever an ally dies, everyone will be sharing a trait with that ally because everyone is going to be a Rebel. You have 7 of them out of 8 champions right now. So climb the ladder is actually pretty good here. Bulky Buddy is also pretty good here. I agree with reinforcements. If you find an Alawi, I would specifically tailor to like a Alawi or a Zoe. Probably Alawi, honestly. Mainly because I have my backline already. My backline is Jinx. You already have a Jinx 1.
Okay.
So I would have gone for Alawi specifically. But let's see what you do here. Item collector is fine. I wouldn't take it. Bronze for life, definitely not because you're going. Oh, okay. Wow, you're very lucky. Zoe is fine. Yeah. Let's. Okay. Yeah. There you go. You level up. You put in the Jinx. That's all great.
So I actually ultimately I itemize her instead.
That's fine. I think that's okay. Again, because she's 2-star. Yeah, because she's 2-star. I think that's okay. I definitely would have rolled a little here, right? Because you have 8 Rebel. You can probably put in someone better for the Vex,
Yeah.
right? Like, I would be looking for something like an Elise. That
Yeah.
would make you very strong. If you can find like a Rumble. You're,
Yeah.
you're also missing Alawi, which is very, very strong, right? So I would have definitely re-rolled some here.
Yeah.
The argument is you're pretty healthy and you're doing relatively well. So maybe you can go to level 9 very quickly by saving your gold. But I think I probably still would have rolled a little here. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is fine. You're doing well. I feel like you're very lucky though. You got a Jinx very, very early.
Yeah.
Dawn is the
Okay.
future.
You know. I would have kept on going. I probably would have rolled down to like 30.
Okay.
The whole point of level 8 is you kind of want to roll to a state where you're stabilized. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And when I say stabilized, I mean you like win most of your fights,
Yeah, so
ideally.
you see at this point, since there's no point in having 8, I actually put Echo in over Akali.
I think that's fine. But the thing is, you're benefiting your Jinx, which doesn't have any items. You can still argue that's okay, but like,
I thought that was okay.
yeah, but like, I probably would have gone for like a Elise or something, or
Yeah.
yeah, mainly because if you, I guess what I'm saying is like you should try to itemize the Jinx.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably would have gone reinforcements specifically for Alawi and then itemize the Jinx. But because you have a 2-star Zoe, I agree that that choice is correct. Right. But yeah, it looks like you're doing very well here. Okay. Talk me through your thoughts here. What are you thinking?
So. I don't remember exactly what I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
I think I wanted like a third thing for my Aurelia, soon to be Alawi, so
Okay.
keep that out.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I would have tried to look for something to finish off the tier, right?
Yeah. I think I specifically wanted sword and there was nothing.
Wars are messy. My kids
Bro,
are
okay. Yeah, I agree. Sword would have been best here. Cloak is also acceptable because Adaptive Helm does provide you with some mana in the back, you know? Oh wait, what just happened? Okay, I guess. I don't think I would have removered for that because now you don't have any removers.
Yeah.
Like, I think you should use removers, but also just think about, like, is it possible for me to possibly save this remover? Because sometimes when you really need it, you may not have any, right? Maybe you could sell a unit. Hopefully you win here. Yeah. But yeah, it is nice that you get a remover every turn, but I still wouldn't use them, like, completely willy-nilly, you know?
Yeah.
Oh. Because now, I guess it doesn't matter. But if I do get a 2-star Jinx, I will want to move the tier, which will be a Shojin, and the... Oh. That's probably okay. I haven't played with this one yet. I don't know how good it actually is. 10,000 sounds like a lot of damage. But maybe it's not too bad when you have a spell that hits like 6 people. So... Oh, well, there's Alawi.
Change is good.
Hmm. No. It should definitely be over the Vex. Vex is the first one you want to take out.
Yeah.
And also Elise. I would have done Elise and Alawi in for Vex and Echo probably. No, definitely Vex. Oh, actually you could have just taken out the Rel. It's Vex Rel for Elise and
That's
Alawi. Yeah. because that would have given you Bruiser as well as Sentinel, and it will allow you to get 2 4-cost in.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And Elise is a much better holder of Rebel Spat
Okay.
than Rel.
Yeah.
Stay still! I'm trying to shoot you.
I know that you're losing the Visionary synergy, but sometimes you have to look at like unit quality as well, right? You generally want to have higher cost units if possible, because they do get stronger. Not always, but like try to think about how can I upgrade my board from 1 cost to 4 costs. You
That
know?
makes sense.
Yeah. The only exceptions are, for example, Aurelia, and for example, like a Powder in a scrap comp.
Mm-hmm.
So she's actually really helpful because she like synergizes well with Echo, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you have a LeBlanc, Zoe, you don't need her anymore. Yeah. So yeah, definitely take out the Vex. Like Vex here is, she normally is just there for a trait bot. She provides the Rebel trait, but when you can, Vex is the first one to go. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I have a hard time letting her go.
Why?
I don't know. It just doesn't come to mind for whatever reason.
Someone scrape this idiot off the floor.
Okay, there's a Lowy.
They will learn or they will die.
So at this point, I want to just like. I did still want to keep the 2 Sentinel in there.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Stoneplate is okay, but I would have opened up your Anvil first before making it. Okay, BF is good. You also have 3 Reforgers, right? So you could have had a better combo, although the combo you have now is pretty good. Like I actually think your setup is pretty good. But here, I guess you were. Okay, so again, like we talked about with stabilizing, the whole goal is to find somewhere where you're stable, and then stop rolling, right? Because you want to go 9, because when you go to 9, that's when you can start having 5 costs. You got very lucky here with this Jinx, but generally you want to try to go to level 9 so you can get A, a 5 cost, and then B, a 2-star 5 cost, and then C, you can have a stronger 4. Okay, yeah. So you rolled about 10 gold last round, and then this round you're rolling about 10 again, so that would have been about a third of the way to level 9 already if you just saved that gold to level up. Does that make sense?
Yes, but I do think getting 2-star Echo was worth it.
Not really, because he doesn't really synergize with your board that much. The only thing that he,
And was there only the last hit.
yeah, for a 1-star Jinx that's not itemized. So generally he's on the board to synergize with Jinx and Rumble. You don't have Rumble, and your Jinx isn't your carry, right? So if your Jinx was your carry, I think Echo would be good. But here I will focus on going level 9 so that I can get 2-star Jinx as well as Rumble. You know?
Yeah.
And you see you start to kind of lose, right? So this is kind of the time where you want to save your gold and level up to level 9 as soon as possible. Yeah. And that's fine. Yeah. I think, what else? Yeah, I think this is fine right now. We can speed it up right here while waiting. Yeah, it looks like you're still winning, which is good. Yeah. Wow, it looks like your 1-star Jinx is actually still doing super well. What do you think you want here?
I think I definitely wanted to get Ginsu or Shojin for Jinx,
Okay.
but they were taken before I could go.
Yeah. The other thing that would have been good is adaptive. That guy just took it, but
Mm-hmm.
adaptive would have actually been pretty good too because it does generate mana. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Shojin would be fine as well.
So with what was remaining,
Yeah.
I just got that.
I think that was a good choice. Yeah.
Got redemption.
Allows you to heal a little bit. You do have a 2-star Echo as well, so Titans would have been good on him
Yeah,
as well. Yeah.
that's true.
So, yeah, I guess you know in the future, right? You can take Vex out. Akali is more useful than a Vex. If nothing else, she's just a body to block so that your Jinx and your Zoe can kill everyone else,
Yeah.
right? Whereas, yeah. Like the whole game is if they get through your front line, you pretty much lose. So by having Akali up there, if nothing else, it's just a warm body, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Meanwhile, the Vex is just very squishy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I just want to call out one more thing with reinforcements. Generally, I don't take reinforcements when I'm hard winning.
Yeah.
I think you were, I don't remember if you were pretty ahead, but I think you were like on track to be pretty ahead with a Jinx. Right? The main thing with reinforcements is that 2-star forecast is literally your whole gold augment. Right? Whereas you can find a 2-star forecast just naturally. And when you have a lot of gold and you can roll for a long time, you'll pretty easily find that.
So you say I put 4 Sentinel in there?
Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah. No.
I'm trying to, I get a little unlucky with just like how things do roll.
Okay, so you do try to reroll the tier, right?
I do, but yeah, I mean, I get kind of unlucky.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, there's no way of knowing, unfortunately. So, well, okay. So when you reforge something on someone, oh, I see. Okay. I guess what does that make? What is spat plus?
Fat chest.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I like this.
So I put the rumble instead.
Yeah, I think that's good. There's also like I would have. Did you reroll it more to see if you can get a bow?
Yes.
Okay.
What were you saying about if you reforge it when it's on someone?
Oh, nothing. You did it right. Yeah. Belt.
Wait, belt.
I think that makes experiment. Yeah, that's not the best. Let's reforge it one more time. Oh, no. Wow. I guess why don't you reforge it?
Oh, I think, yeah, I know what I do. First,
Because here's the thing.
well, because I'm not thinking of doing a rebel. I think I was trying to see of like if I could get other artillerists or something.
Okay. Oh, wow. The Trundle would be great. That allows you to put in an extra unit. But, okay, someone took him. Okay. But the main thing is you want to reforge it 3 times. Self-destruct always. Yeah. And then you can put it onto the Echo for scrap, right? So
I guess, yeah, I could have done that, but... I mean, I end up putting the belt on Echo for scrap, actually.
well, why not reforge it one more time? See what you
Because
can
I just did that.
do. Okay, I guess that's fine, yeah.
But I ended up not making that, and when I realized I had scrap, I just put the belt on Echo.
Yeah, that's probably what I would have done. I would have re-rolled to see if I can find another rebel, so a bow. And here you should have spent your gold.
Oh,
You're at 52 gold. Like that, you could have a Jinx 2 and you could have a Rumble 2. You're only 1 Rumble off,
yeah, that's true.
right?
That makes sense, yeah.
So always die with 0 gold. If you have more than 0 gold, or I guess 1 gold, then you could have won. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, okay. So those are the things. First thing is, if you're playing Rebel, Vex is the first one to go at 7 Rebel, right? Second thing is just like Ezreal early is really good for just getting early Academy. It's also good for 5 Rebel. And then third thing is just like Moonstone goes in the back row to make sure you heal for as long as possible. And then fourth thing is Jinx is really good as your carry. If you get her as early as you did, I would have definitely anomalied her. Okay? Because you were really high health, you had a lot of money, you could have easily won 9 and got a 2-star Jinx.
Yeah.
And if you did get a 2-star Jinx, it would have been stronger than a 2-star Zoe, right?
Yeah.
So having Anomaly on her would have been good. You would have lost some HP on your way to level 9, but it's fine because you were really healthy at the time,
That makes sense.
right? Next thing is reinforcements. I would not take if I'm like first place and uncontested.
Okay.
I don't think there was anyone else playing Rebel or playing
Yeah.
Zoe.
Yeah.
So it would have been pretty easy for you to find Zoe, right? And you were already pretty strong with a Jinx in your back line. If you got reinforcement and specifically focus on Alawi,
Yeah.
I think that's fine, but it's also not ideal because the first 4 cost that you found was a Zoe, right? So if we're focusing on Alawi, you would not have been able to buy that Zoe. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if I'm playing Scrap, for example, I like to take reinforcement because it's so contested. There's like 3 people going for Scrap. So having an instant 2-star Corki or instant 2-star Echo, that's really, really strong. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But Rebel nowadays, there's not that many people that play it, actually.
That's
Yeah.
true.
But overall, I hope that was helpful. Did you find that helpful?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Do you have any other thoughts for your game?
No, I mean, all things are definitely true. I think what I remember with Jinx this time was that last time he said, oh, she's only really good if you put in 7, which I did.
Mm-hmm.
But I think on top of that, I just remember to itemize her better.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds good. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for watching. If you have any thoughts or questions or things that I could have pointed out, please let me know. Add it in the comments. Looking forward to seeing you in the next one. Have a good night, everyone. Bye.